Okay, so what was the black community and the Muslim community like early '70s and trying to be Muslim at that time? What was?
They were consistent by the grace and mercy of Allah.
Uh,
They were consistent in practicing Islam, and then most of the Muslims who came from overseas came from the East Coast. Most Muslims were from the East Coast. Very few brothers who were from Los Angeles here adhered to Islam. Most people were then still in the Nation of Islam, following Elijah Muhammad.
yeah, because at that time, yeah, Elijah Muhammad was still alive, so the Nation of Islam was still pushing.
Was
At that,
stronger than strong as ever.
is that right?
They were a nation within a nation.
So what was the relationship, or what was the feelings between the Orthodox community, y'all, and the nation?
It was a hostile situation.
Is that right?
Yes, because bear in mind that Malcolm X was looked upon as the Nation of Islam being involved in the assassination of Malcolm X. So by the grace of Allah, is that there still was hostility from 1965 to 1975. It was still a strong hostile environment and relationship with Muslims of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah and the Nation of Islam.
Is that right?
The East Coast and the West Coast, regardless of where you were, on the street, inside the jails and prisons.
Wow, is that right? Okay. So that was the early '70s. So the community. So you probably were one of the first African Americans around here from, cause you from LA, right?
Yeah.
To embrace traditional Islam, or to come back to embrace Orthodox Islam. You probably was one of the first African Americans around here?
Yeah, one of the me, my cousin Hannah, and her husband at that time, Abdul Kareem, and then there were like Brother Fidel, Khalid Ibn Al-Amr. These are the brothers I'm talking about in regards to Los Angeles. See, I can actually name them. And then like Kidder Abdul-Azhar. They weren't no more than, like I say, locally, from Los Angeles. They weren't 25 men and women. And you know, primarily, and most of us were young. We were under the age of 25. But I became a Muslim. I took Kalima Shahad. I was only 19. I was 19 years old when I took Kalima Shahad in '71.
What
Besides my wife Khadija, then
Rahimahullah. So what inspired you? What brought you? What made you want to become Muslim?
Well, you know, it was the power of the movement that was going on amongst black people here and abroad, and then the consciousness that was being exemplified and raising people's consciousness with Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, and then Malcolm X breaking away from the Nation of Islam and then starting the Muslim Mosque Incorporated and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, and then his acceptance of Islam but not knowing. And then you had the emergence of the Black Panther Party, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee was still strong, and other different black organizations here and abroad, here and across the country that were enlightening the people. Then you had leaders like Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown, and then by the rebellion of 1965 in Los Angeles was really the pivotal point for everybody overall in west of the Mississippi. And then, like I say, organizations such as the Black Panther Party, and then the emergence of the autobiography of Malcolm X being published. When you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, if you really want to know what was going on in America and abroad, Malcolm X was one of the greatest, even to this day in 2015, to articulate the truth of the fight of the people, of the black people and the oppressed people around the world.
Speaking on Malcolm, many of us, you know, consider him to really be influential and a key reason for many of us embracing Islam. What would you say was his contribution, right, to the struggle of blacks in America, and specifically to Islam, the development or the rise of Islam in America?
By the grace and mercy of Allah, his autobiography is a testimony and The major, to this day, I don't see nobody comparing to him. And he's a true manifestation of a Shaheed, one who has brought witness to the truth of Islam and who was uncompromising. And he didn't compromise himself, and he didn't backslide.
I mean, so the Muslim community at that time, I talked to some of the elders, and some of the things that really hit me or inspired me is that they talk about, though it was few of you guys in that time, your numbers were small, but it seems like y'all had a real sincerity, a real sense of community. Would you say that was the case?
Yeah,
early on?
Yeah, because by the grace and mercy of Allah, they were sincere and they were consistent and they were dedicated and they were fearless. They had a purpose. They had a purpose, and they were conscious of themselves. That's the reality. They were conscious of themselves. They had a knowledge of themselves, and they had a respect of themselves and of their families, etc.
I mean.